Supreme Court backs biological definition of woman.
The unanimous decision of this court is that the terms woman and sex refer to a biological woman and biological sex.
I love it when a plan comes together. It took 3 extraordinary, tenacious Scottish women with an army behind them to get this case heard by the Supreme Court. We toasted you. Neil says it's Turf VE Day. Laughing face emoji. Spare a thought today for the UK employers, government departments, health boards, academic institutions, and sporting bodies who've been breaking equality law to appease activist groups. To those celebrating the fact that I'm smoking a blunt, it's a cigar.
Please go around the book. Jesus. Good morning, everyone. You'll be ready for an incredible Tuesday. Today's video, I'm going to talk about the most controversial UK figure ever, J.K. Rowling, because I can safely say she just stirred up enough trouble that I can laugh about it because of how bizarre it is. I don't see I need to give her a reason for her controversial reputation, because all over the news, you've more likely been forced to hear about her anti-trans opinions against your will. But in these last couple of days, it's been much worse because of a new ruling by the Supreme Court here in the UK, where, for summary, a group known as For Women Scotland, a pretty anti-trans organization, had the controversial ruling appealed by the court, where certain sex laws only apply to biological women, you know, none of that icky trans stuff, as they would describe it. And J.K. Rowling, as a vitriolic advocate, who has also, bear in mind, given them money directly, has just been spewing on the timeline as of recent. So stick around for the whole video so you can see the story behind this, her decrepit Twitter, and some criticisms for what she, J.K. Rowling, blows her money on. So here's like the full court document right here as a PDF, and honestly, how many pages is it? 88. Fuck that noise. I'll give a description, you know, from what they said from their own biased website, so to a pinch of salt. But they said judgment was handed down by the UK Supreme Court on Wednesday 16th April for Women Scotland versus the Scottish Ministers on the effect of Gender Recognition Act 2004 on the definition of woman and man for the purpose of the Equality Act 2010. The summary statement of the judgment, read by Lord Hodge, what a name, can be viewed on the UK Supreme Court YouTube or the case page. The judgment holds the term man, woman, and sex in the Equality Act 2010 referred to biological sex, and in some random paragraph. Definition of sex in the EA 2010 makes clear that the concept of sex is binary. A person is either a woman or a man, okay? And then for a more unbiased description from the BBC, I mean, I trust them, they have to say, judges of the UK Supreme Court have unanimously ruled that woman is defined by a biological sex under equality laws. It marks the culmination of a long-running legal battle which could have major implications for how sex-based rights apply across Scotland, England, and Wales. The court sided with campaign group For Women Scotland, which brought a case against the Scottish government, arguing that sex-based protections should only apply to people that are born female. Judge Lord Hodge said the ruling should only be seen as a triumph of one side over the other, should not be seen as a triumph of one side of the other, and stressed that the law still gives protection against discrimination to transgender people, whatever. So you've got that agenda, which is why J.K. Rowling supports them, but also furthermore, it has been found that recently, or before in the past, she even gave them money directly from this article I found, which she gave them £70,000 toward them, you know, for the crowdfunding. My God, Jesus Christ. I mean, he's a multi-millionaire, you know, she would probably given more. I'm not saying she should have, but like, you know, like to waste your money on that for some crowdfunding, yeah, whatever, fucking very bizarre. Anyways, here comes my favorite part of the video, her actual Twitter, because in light of those news, she's been posting the most bizarre tweets ever, you know, celebrating towards this. The most recent one that was hilarious was this one. I love it when plan comes together, hashtag Supreme Court, hashtag women's rights, and it's her on a yacht or a boat. It's definitely a boat, it's in the water, having a glass of like OJ juice and a big fucking cigar. Very, very cool, J.K. Rowling. And then followed with, we toasted you at For Women Scott. Neil says it's Turf VE Day, and also 2 glasses of champagne. Wow, very cool. I was gonna just say, I saw like she lives in Spain, because, you know, like this looks very like a nice scenery, but this is in Scotland. Did she move to Scotland, you know, for like for that organization specifically? There's no way. And she also said later, it's better assault today for the UK employers, government departments, health boards, academic institutions, and sporting bodies who've been breaking equality law to peace activist groups. So many HR manuals to pulp, so many out-of-court settlements to pay. But also, by the way, he has a huge following on fucking Twitter as well. Maybe, you know, from like Harry Potter fans, or just, you know, like huge right-wing people. Definitely. I mean, you have that one, but also, you know, this one before, nearly 500,000 likes. Holy shit. So yeah, she has a huge following behind her. And then furthermore, what somebody said, why are no media outlets reporting who backed and funded the transphobic anti-trans single-issue lobbying group for women in Scotland? Did they miss the bit around H.K. Rowling's funding of this? And she made fun of them being like, H.K. Rowling has never given money for that group. J.K. definitely has. So, good on you, you know, taking pride in that, whatever. And then saying, it took 3 extraordinary, tenacious Scottish women with an army behind them to get this case heard by the Supreme Court. In winning, they protected the rights of women and girls across the UK and for Women's Card. I'm so proud to know you. Scottish flag, hard, Scottish flag, hard, Scottish flag, hard, Scottish flag. My God, oh, that's so sweet to reply under. That's so nice. Also, by the way, I really want, normally in these videos, you know, I read the replies under, but like, you know, I fear a tiny bit that these ones, you know, might be the most vitriolic, the most venomous, you know, the kind of things I couldn't say in the video because it bad, but I digress. And also, people were saying, you know, she was smoking with this picture, and she had to correct that for whatever reason, saying, she's always celebrating the fact that I'm smoking a blunt. It's a cigar. Even if it decides to identify as a blunt, oh my God, it's a joke, I just realized. Even if it decides to identify as a blunt for purpose of the celebration, it will remain objectively, provably, and demonstratively a cigar. Wow, you know, I get all my good anti-trans jokes from J.K. Rowling. Oh, that's well. This following she has, the big one, they all joke about this with like the worst memes ever. Look at this shit. Bro, who uses the fucking what do you call this? The ruffle glasses? Oh no, too cool for no, what do you call it? Hold on, give me a second. Oh my, I'm looking up dank memes, MLG glasses. They're that old. Look, give me a second. Oh yeah, deal with it. My God, her fans are so old, or you know, so out of touch that they're using deal with it glasses. Also the top text, bottom text meme format. My God. But with blunt, you could get stoned and come up with a crazy story about wizards. That's what you know, J.K. Rowling, instead of, you know, talking about this shit on Twitter, just making a new Harry Potter story, if I were you, just saying. Making this your entire personality is weird, off-putting, and very, very sad as a queer person who gained so much from your work in the past. Oh, that's sad. No matter how you identify, you'll always be a rancid failure of a bitch. Oh my God, that's ruthless. Sometimes a cigar is just a cigar. Did he say that really? You were the scum of the earth using your unlimited resources to do nothing but spread hate. Even when you win in quotations, you're nothing but a sad, lonely old soul loser. I hope one day you live with love and compassion instead of misery and contempt. Was this guy an actual British person? I'm not sure actually. That's so fucking funny. Also, I'm not sure, you know, I mentioned the ruling before, but I'm not sure, you know, how big it is. You know, if it's fucking, you know, a big enough achievement for her to be drinking some Scotch whiskey with a blunt, sorry, a cigar. You know, I guess good for you, but like seems pretty minor. Just saying, in my opinion, you know, from my understanding of it so far. Smoke what the fuck you want. It's nobody else's business. It looks like a blunt to me. You're just a bigot. I'm getting the crap kicked out of me on X. Oh my, she calls it X. For applauding your victory. Keep on smoking those big fat cigars. Real woman power. What the fuck? You're a psycho. Who saw this image and, you know, wanted to be like, oh, it would be better as a Rastafarian version, whatever. Let's say. The clue was an A-Team reference, but I'm guessing a lot of your followers are Chu Young and Chu Na American, Jeff Garnett. Oh, is that what it was? And what the, that's so old. And the A-Team reference, what the fuck? How old is this fucking hag? I shouldn't, I'm sorry. Oh my God, it's getting worse as the more you go down. What most won't know is that the transgender agenda, that rhymes actually, is all about a world to come where there will be androgynous beings. The lunatics running the world want to become their gods, want to become like their gods who are androgynous. Are they? What are you? I saying they're pagans, whatever. J.K. probably knows this since many of the cult themes were in her books. Perhaps she was trying to tell you. Oh my god, it makes so much sense. Harry Potter was trying to defeat Voldemort, a representation of the woke trans agenda. It makes so much sense. This video fucking blows. Oh my god, some guy like brought up like the drama from like last month where about they were casting like a black guy for a random character. Please don't cast black people in the key roles in the new Harry Potter series. We grow those characters and remember the description from the books. So please stop changing white characters into black ones. What the black ones? You mean black people? My, what's wrong with you? That's a bit mean. Oh, I get it now. Because he said, when a plan comes together. Oh, I get the reference. After scrolling through 200 discussing replies, I finally get the reference. Finally, thank God. Okay, but fuck that. Now for part 3, this news I dropped, became even worse for people like me because it came out that, that last month, one of her charities, one of her organizations had to be cancelled because they didn't have enough funding. Okay, fair enough, but why is that really ironic? Well, if we go back for a second, she has the time and money to give it to this crowd, this organization for Women in Scotland. However, when it comes to her actual charity, she will leave it behind the dirt, barely giving a shit about it. That is so fucking funny. It's awful, but it's like, funny in how ironic it is, to be honest. I watched a video from this guy because I think he broke it down really well. And this was from 4 More on Reddit. And they said, J.K. Rowling cuts back support for one of her charities, Gingerbread, that helps single parents while spending hundreds of thousands on anti-trans campaigns. Well, that's what, I think, she donated 70,000 so far to 4 Women in Scotland. But God knows, how much before in the past for other campaigns I have no idea about.
Gingerbread, the charity for single-parent families, will be closing its helpline from the 1st of April. That was just a couple of weeks back. Who's the president?
I'm sorry, I really want to give a breakdown of the charity, what they do. So they helped before, bro, they were up for 2002 for that long, and they were giving advice to single parents. Oh my god, that's so heartbreaking. I'm sure they were also like helping them out, financially, but all those single parents that were relying on them before just lost our support because she cares more about for Women in Scotland than those dumbass single parents. So I'll play the video again so you get the whole thing.
The charity for single-parent families will be closing its helpline from the 1st of April. That was just a couple of weeks back. Who's the president of Gingerbread? Oh, it's J.K. Rowling, that woman who was able to fund tens or hundreds of thousands of pounds toward a hate campaign toward trans people.
It probably was like hundreds of thousands. I mean, bro, if the person that wrote Harry Potter, the entire series, they probably have enough equity to, give out hundreds of thousands. I'm not going to say, boldly, I don't have the facts on hand, but I believe
She can't afford to give money toward a helpline for single parents who need help with housing accommodation, care for their children, medical attention. Oh no. But she is for women, of course. She is for women. She wants to help women.
That's so funny as well. And from my understanding of this charity, Gingerbread, it's only like a simple like helpline. That's it. Not like a really expensive one that needs money non-stop every month. A nice simple call center where they help out single parents. But even then, that was too much for her. But for Women in Scotland, it's like that meme with like Patrick in the NBA being like 100 trillion to Israel. Yeah, but apart from that, this whole story, about this in recent, also the character of JK, they're both insane. Because bear in mind also, if you click on her profile, this part shocked me. She's chronically online, non-stop, making fucking tweets or reposting stuff. Look at this shit. I scrolled down quite a bit. That was just yesterday. And God knows how much else you have on the reply section, probably even some more. I'm gonna like let it spin in the background. My god, just non-stop. Just I hate repeating this joke, but just go spend your time making a new book. It's so funny as well because from what I noticed, apart from like a right-wing following on Twitter, everywhere else on TikTok, on Reddit, like this subreddit, they all hate her massively. This post from 12 hours ago, nearly 3k upvotes. They despise her. Mother of God. But if you guys want to see more about this, I recommend, you know, this TikTok. I couldn't see the handle, unfortunately, but you know, I'm sure big creators, you know, talked about this even more, so go check them out. They probably had, you know, much more to say than me, probably. Apart from that, this in general has been really funny. Like, this replies, you know, in this Twitter section has been pretty fucking like bizarre and funny at the same time. So with all that said, I'll catch all of y'all next video. Love you guys.